Ooh, I like this lighting on my face right now. Reminds me of Morticia from the Addams Family. I don't know how they did that effect, that lighting effect in that movies. In that movies, her face is always like glowing. This is not the first time that I've done this daily challenge. I did a challenge a few years ago called I call it the Ohm challenge. It was OMMM, so not Ohm, it was Ohm. That it stood for 1 minute, maybe more, and I started it I think on the night of my birthday, the night of my 25th birthday, and I did it. I filmed myself daily for 100 days. Now, that was early March. My birthday's March 3rd, so it was early March of 2020 that I started that. You might remember that something pretty significant happened during March. And so I pretty much perfectly detailed, I documented my experience in the early days of the pandemic. I didn't really mention the pandemic all that much. I tried my best to just pretend like that wasn't even a thing. But, yeah, you can get a glimpse into the kind of person I was. And in some ways, if you're watching really closely and picking up some clues and hints, you're able to see little changes in the way that I carry myself in the wake of a very life-altering, I mean, in some ways, like a former self-destroying occurrence. I've heard it said, like, the pandemic killed a part of me that I will never get back. And, I've never gone back and watched those videos straight through again since then. Because partially just it's painful. I mean, that was a painful time. But I don't have a lot of love and respect for former me. In any given year. I mean, even I wasn't doing too bad. I wasn't a terrible person a couple years ago. There are some versions of me from the past that I think are just reprehensible, man. But I mean, every year I'm learning a lot, and I'm growing a lot, and I'm becoming a different person. I mean, it's the classic, you remove a plank of wood from the ship, and then you replace it, and then after a while, you have a completely new ship. At what point did it become a completely new ship? Was it after the first plank? Probably not. Was it after 10 planks? Was it after 20 planks? Who knows? It's very arbitrary. It's easiest to just say we're dying and being reborn constantly. And to all those past versions of myself that aren't as knowledgeable as I am now, and I'm still not very knowledgeable at the end of things, I don't give a lot of love and respect to them, and to the point where it's hard for me to even watch that person on camera, like even acknowledge that he existed and listen to his thoughts and hear his feelings. And that's not very conducive to a good mental state in my present, even though it's the past me. I mean, he's me. He's me, man. And I gotta respect that he's doing his best. And I gotta listen to him, even when he's cringy and flat out wrong about things and thinks that he's way more clever than he actually is. Even when he's so incredibly cringe-inducing. I mean, he's a three-dimensional human. And I mean, if I can't love and respect him and listen to his thoughts and feelings, I can't really do the same thing to myself right now. And so I think one of these days I really am going to sit down with those videos from 2 years ago. I mean, all my videos, really, I should feel comfortable watching. But one of these days I'm really going to sit down and watch that previous 100 videos, and I don't know, who knows, maybe old me will have something new that current me can really learn from. Even though in some ways I'm wiser, maybe he still has some lessons to teach me.